What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge for a little instant reaction to the OU women advancing to the Sweet 16. Before we get started with this video, click the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, be a part of the Sooner Surge. Also, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Hey, Jackson, dominating performance, just a rout specifically. I mean, really from start to finish, but third quarter kind of poured it on and then just pulled away in the fourth. Overall, great performance by Oklahoma, almost hitting the 100 mark again in this game. And playing well right now, hitting on most cylinders, and big test coming up next round. But great win by Oklahoma today.
Yeah, and if you're Oklahoma, if you can have 5 or 6 players scoring double figures, Jay, I mean, it's going to help you a ton because you're going to be a difficult team to beat when it comes to that. And then I think, whenever you talk about the experience that this team has, Skylar Vann, I think the last 2 games in the tournament, she's played extremely well. I think there's an argument that she's been the best player outside of Reagan Beers. Just with their impact, she's been scoring the ball, shooting it efficiently. So that's really helps you a ton. And then Liz Scott and Zaya Vann off the bench. Jay, you know how I've been on Zaya Vann. I think she's a chance to be really special. She gave Oklahoma a big spark early. In the first quarter, was doing quite a bit of the scoring, really keeping Oklahoma in it along with Sahara Williams. And then really this team, if they can hit two threes in the first half and be up by double figures at halftime, and then go and just start knocking down threes and just completely dominate the second half like they did. That's a recipe for success against almost every single team you're going to play, Jay.
Yeah, and you look at the stats. Oh, you didn't even shoot the ball that well. 30% from three. But the free throw line, they dominated. 27 free throws to 7 from Iowa. This is kind of got a little bit physical. Iowa was getting very upset. The coach was. A lot of physical play. And the Sooners get it done there at the free throw line. But I think the attention turns now to it's probably going to be UConn.
Yeah.
And can this team get past the next round? I mean, the Sweet 16, that's great for Jenny. I'm super excited that they're able to do this. Great crowd there today and just a great performance. You win your 2 home games in really kind of going away fashion. So you're playing well.
Right.
And now you get probably UConn and Gina Oriema and everything that goes with that. We'll see. But I think if the Sooners can limit their turnovers and shoot the ball well, they're going to be in that game.
Yeah. And, Jay, I really think outside of South Carolina, Oklahoma really hasn't found a team that's just completely handled them like South Carolina did. I think in which we kind of see this team grew this season was whenever they went to LSU on the road and they were down by 20 plus and they came back. They almost won that game. And I think that's really whenever you started to see this team be like, hey, we can compete with these top teams, even against South Carolina in the SEC tournament. For the majority of that game, it was a 5 to 10 point game till South Carolina went on their run and really took control of that game. And, there's an argument if Reagan Beers plays good on the game, Oklahoma, they're in it the whole way and they have a chance to win at the end. But I think with this team, you talk about it probably is going to be UConn unless South Dakota State just does something crazy. But, I think this team, with how they're playing, I wouldn't count them out, Jay. I know me and you might not have the same opinion on that, but this team with how good they're playing, the experience that they have, so many different players can score, can have big games. So it's really just get them on a neutral court. I think that UConn would obviously have the fan advantage, but I think this Oklahoma team, really what Jenny's instilled in the culture, I think they're ready for the moment. I would not be shocked if they were to win a game in the Sweet 16 and go to the Elite Eight. I really wouldn't, because you hear this team talk, you hear Jenny talk, they're ready for this. It's been 3-4 years in the making. They got over that hump, Jay, that we've been talking about, got to the Sweet 16. Now it's at this point, you just go and you have nothing to play for. Well, you do the national championship, but the pressure, it's not on Oklahoma. It's going to be on UConn in that game. So if you're Oklahoma, you go in there and you give it all you have.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think both teams are going to have pressure with it being 2-3. I know UConn's wanting to they're wanting to get back to the top of the pillar there. And so it'll be a great game. I do think when you look at key players for Oklahoma, I mean, Skylar Vann has been playing really well down the stretch last few games. Sahara Williams, had the little nicked injury there at the end or third quarter. Hopefully everything's fine on that. But I think you got Beers in the middle. It's going to me, that game's going to come down to 3-point shooting. In my opinion, I just think you're going to have to be hitting shots. Love to see Lexi Keys get on a little roll here down the stretch here of the season. Man, Skylar Vann, you can't say enough about her and Sahara Williams. I mean, they were just great when they were in there today, man.
Yeah, and I think Oklahoma, something that they've done well all year long is rebounding the ball. And also, I mean, I think there's an argument this was the best defensive game they played all year, too. I thought that against Iowa's big and their guards, I thought that OU defended them extremely well, defended extremely hard, disciplined, weren't committing silly fouls, and I think that's just going to be key to success. With how we've seen Oklahoma, they set the record for the amount of boards in the game. I believe it was 72. So this is a team that can dominate on the glass. They did that today against Iowa again, Jay. So for this team, I think it's just you see what can happen. It's March, Jay. We've seen it in men's and women's basketball. Anything can happen. If a team gets hot at the right time on these neutral courts, it's anyone's game. So if you're Oklahoma, there's no reason for you not to be confident, especially with how well you played in the first two games of the tournament. I know that UConn, you said it, they want to get back up to the top, probably the most storied program ever in college basketball for girls. So it's going to be a matchup in which all the attention is going to be on UConn, but Oklahoma, as I've said, Jay, and I know you're not going to count them out. I'm not either, because we've seen this team. They've competed extremely well all year long outside of one game. And I think definitely, this program is headed in a phenomenal direction. I think this is just a start under Jenny. But I think it definitely is just going to be an exciting time as this program continues to move forward.
Well, you mentioned the historic 72 rebounds, and you would think, wow, I mean, that's just how does that how do you get that many rebounds? Well, how about this stat today? 64.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was a one time. I mean, 64 they out rebounded Iowa today, 64-33. Listen to this. Offensive rebounds, 24-5. If you're getting 19 more offensive rebounds, which means 19 more shots just off offensive rebounds, you make half of those. That's an 18 to 20 point difference depending on threes. I mean, that's just outrageous. And if the first two games of this tournament, OU's been very aggressive on the glass. They've been very quick to the glass. And it's almost like, everybody wants it in March Madness. It's almost like, but the first two games, it seems like they've won it a little bit more than their opponent. And they're going to have to continue that as they get ready for UConn. So, hey, UConn coming up. Well, let's not rush through it. UConn could get upset as we record this video. Yeah. They have not played yet, but I think that's the thought everybody expects UConn to move on. But great win for Oklahoma, Jenny Baranczyk. Into the Sweet 16, back in the Sweet 16 for Oklahoma. OU women's basketball. It's nice to see. Nice to see the fan support. Nice to see them playing well. It's a fun team to watch. They score points. Let's hope they get another one and get into that lead eight. Hey, thanks for watching this video. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next time.